get everything right to help me out to get us there. So it's just one of those things that worked out. So yeah, I mean, I'd obviously like to repeat that. I've enjoyed going to speedways. Talladega's been really good to me. It's like opposite of Daytona for me. I feel like I can't finish at Daytona the last few years, and Talladega we've run really well. Hopefully that keeps up, but it all starts this weekend of trying to get this round off on a good foot, and hopefully you're in a good spot going to Talladega. And really, no matter what spot we're in, I feel like we've always gone to speedways and have been aggressive, trying to lead laps, just kind of control the flow of the race, work with each other. I feel like we do that really well. So yeah, it'd be nice to get a fourth one there, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
In your opinion, what is the difference between the fall Talladega playoff race and the spring Talladega race?
I don't know. I mean, each one's different. Playoffs are not. Obviously, stage points are really important. But, you know, the fuel mileage game there now is always tricky, kind of how you approach that. Try to get some stage points and try to cycle, towards the front. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the intensity level is still high. Through the whole race, everyone's trying to position themselves, up near the front at any part of the race. So I don't think like the playoff race intensity goes down with guys playing it safe. That's just not really a thing you can do anymore, especially because it's hard to go from the back to the front now in those places. So I still think it's going to be exciting to watch, like every Talladega race, and hopefully it gets kind of active. 3 lanes. I know there it's been a little tough to go 3 lanes, just because the track's so big, and handling's not a big deal there. But yeah, I think it'll be exciting as usual.
Do you think that
mentioned sort of having an advantage of like the whole company rallying behind his car? Is it challenging to have 3 Penske guys still alive at this point, or is there an advantage that you feel your team has?
I think it's good. I don't think it's a disadvantage at all to have 3 guys still in it. I think it's great morale for our whole company. We still have 3 chances to win a championship for Team Penske, and we all rally around each other. And we still learn from each other. I think it's the same thing, like, with the SHR situation of him being the only guy in, right? Okay, it's like all hands on deck for that car. And, I think there could be an advantage to that. Like, when I got to the round of 8 last year and Joey and Austin were out, I was like, all hands on deck for my car. They're going to run our setup, and then we're going to go from there. I feel like that positives to it, but I think as like a confidence thing with our whole organization, having the 3 cars in it, we still work really well together. There's no rivalries in our stuff. Like, we still rely on each other because we have to compete. So I think it's more beneficial, I feel like, when you have more cars in it. I don't think it takes away from anybody at all.
Do you think, we're hearing that there's some changes to the cars for Talladega? I don't know if you went to the meeting this morning, but do you think it will impact how you race or how the cars race?
Yeah, I don't know. We did have a meeting this morning, and NASCAR presented a few different ideas to help some blowover stuff. Which parts and pieces they're actually going to run, I don't know. I think they're still talking about that. But it was a good meeting, just understanding, hey, where we're at, what NASCAR's thinking about. It's nice that they're thinking about this stuff, trying to keep tires on the ground. So I don't know what their decision's going to be, but it was nice to just kind of get an update of what they're thinking.
Did they take your guys' input on what they should be, or was it pretty much informational and then they're still going to look at their data and decide?
I feel like those meetings are always good conversation, hey, they start off with, here's what we're thinking, these are the tests we've done, and then they listen to our input of what we think, and we can only give our input to a certain amount, right? We're not crunching numbers in the wind tunnel and data and CFD stuff and blowovers and angles of mile per hour of where they kind of tip over, but they give us all that information. We just have to give them what we think, So, that stuff I feel like they've always done a good job, at least, especially the last handful of years of kind of presenting us with something and then listening to what we have to say.
The same way. So there's a lot of opportunities in this round, and now we have to try to maximize that.
Is this the most important? You would say this is the most important qualifying session of the entire season. I mean, even down the road, do you think?
We're gonna think the same way in Robo, right? Talladega is not, but the Robo is gonna be probably the most important qualifying of this round.
Yeah.
But also here, in Kansas. So, every weekend is very important.
Not a lot of people expected you to make the first round. How does it feel proving the naysayers wrong?
I was expecting it. The team was expecting it. I'm not trying to prove them wrong. I'm just trying to prove the people right. The people that is actually on my corner. So the people that they don't believe, that's fine.
So do you go into Talladega with nothing to lose or everything to lose?
Just like any other driver, in my opinion. Honestly, right now I don't care about Talladega. We're in Kansas, and all my energy I'm focusing here in practice and qualifying. Talladega is next week. We can talk about that next week.
So how are you feeling about your chances now compared to when the playoffs started? You made it to the first round. How do you feeling now?
I feel good. I mean, honestly, the fourth round I knew it was going to be good for us with Alana being in there, with Watkins then being in there. I was expecting more from Bristol, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Bristol wasn't going to be easy because, the last 2-3 years with track out there, we've been struggling as a company, both cars and the one car decided to do something, we decided to do something else, and unfortunately what we picked, it was not the right thing. It was a struggle, but yeah, I mean, luckily we built a cushion in the first couple of races and we're able to be okay, but that's not the way that we wanted things to go in Bristol. Hopefully we can be more smooth and more consistent in this round. I believe that we can do that. I'm pretty confident with the cars that we were able to work on this week for Kansas. Talladega, obviously, as we all know, anything can happen, and the Robo, I'm expecting it to be in the top 5.
In terms of car setup, what are you guys kind of focusing on the most in this practice and qualifying session coming up?
I mean, just like everyone else, you have to go out there and be fast. The setup, the balance is the balance, but you have to go out there and be fast. In Bristol, the balance of my car was actually not horrible, and we're on 30th all day. So, it's everything about having speed, and I believe that we did our homework right, preparing for Kansas. So let's see how it goes.
So it's been since May since you guys have actually raced on a true mile-and-a-half track, and even that was Coke 600. Even then, you guys didn't get to finish the race.
That's true.
So
that's a good point.
You got 3 mile-and-a-halfs here in the playoffs. So how do you guys feel about your mile-and-a-half program at this point after so long?
Honestly, that's a very good question. I thought in Darlington we were pretty decent, but it's different, like you mentioned. So in the Coke 600, I thought we were decent. We had pretty good pace, so we were not. I believe that we're a top 10 car in the Coke 600. We didn't get to finish strong because we had a penalty in the last pit stop before they called the race, but. I feel good about it. May, a lot of things that happens in May, so we have to just go out there and perform and do our thing. I believe that our team is very, very well prepared. I believe that maybe the best prepared team out there, based on how everything worked, how everything that we did from Monday through Thursday, and I'm looking forward to hopefully see that reflected on track.
Did you go to the competition meeting this morning?
Yes.
What do you think of that Talladega Aero device thing on the windshield? Do you think that will help?
I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, it's what they think, right? Because they are the ones that did the testing. But they think it's going to be better. It looks kind of funny, to have that thing all the way in the windshield. Some drivers were complaining about visibility a little bit. The tear-off is going to be cut in like 75% instead of 100% of the windshield. So it's going to be different. It's not for sure. They're not set. They said that we're going to make a decision in the next few days. So let's see how it goes. Honestly, when it comes to those kind of things of safety, I just let NASCAR do their thing. When it comes to that, they're way smarter than drivers. Drivers, sometimes we try to give our opinion too much, and half of the time we don't know what the heck we're talking about. We just want to talk. So some drivers are like that. And when it comes to that, I feel like NASCAR is way more smarter than us, and I believe that they're going to make the right call.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.